is Colorado's very own Daybreak on 2 at 6.
A man suspected in a triple murder in Denver's Green Valley Ranch is under arrest and in custody, expected in court later on today. Why did he open fire and kill 3 people, including a 4-year-old little boy?
Plus, 6 o'clock on your Tuesday, parents in the Cherry Creek District demanding answers from their leaders. This comes after a controversial sexual assault investigation. Why they say the process needs to change.
Avs have it. McCarr back out there. Centering feed, a shot to score! A beautiful assist from Kale.
It is a series sweep for the Burgundy and Blue. We're pumped here on Channel 2. Now they're heading to the Western Conference semifinals after last night's thrilling victory. What the coach has to say about their Stanley Cup chances.
We should have brought our brooms in studio this morning.
Oh, yeah, brooms.
Let's begin with the live look with Sky 2 up and at it. Pinpoint weather. Live look across town this morning. Wind set to pick up once again today means more fire danger across Colorado. Look at this beautiful sunrise. It's going to be another hot day. A warning from the National Weather Service this morning. They say the conditions elevated today, critical tomorrow and Thursday.
Well, that sunrise is gorgeous. It can mean big trouble. Let's get out of the way and show these, we call it follow the bouncing ball, and it's not a fun game from days ago. It's actually showing you the critical risk involved in the wildfires. Look at tomorrow, look at Thursday. Both of these days critical. That means the danger of wildfire. Tomer, we've heard this song before and we've seen what it can do.
Yeah, I mean, and that just gives you a really quick glance at how the week is going to play out. And there are reasons why the elevation will go up as far as the risk. Wind, drier, hotter temps, all of that stuff plays in. And we got a clear morning out there right now. Look at that sun up over the top of Denver on the Backus and Shanker camera. We've got fire weather watches and warnings up, so another red flag day for basically the entire Front Range. That's going to run us all the way through the end of the week. Storm track hasn't changed. New low hitting the west. With this type of orientation, the jet stream brings us the wind and keeps us in the dry sector for a long time. Here's the hourly planner today. Mid to upper 70s. That's probably going to do it. Very similar to yesterday for Denver and the Front Range coming up. I'll take a look at the wind gust forecast for each afternoon through the end of the weekend in just a few minutes.
It's going to make for a bumpy flight on those mornings. We might not see from Sky 2, but we have them today. The Tuesday drive, they're right over I-25. You know the Home Depot, kind of down near Alameda and Santa Fe. So a good look to the conditions through town. There's a live look up in the Breckenridge area. This is I-25 around 84th. We're also tracking very few delays across 6th Avenue as you come in from Lakewood. And if you're traveling out to the airport, beautiful sunrise, our fine airport parking cam. No cancellations, just about a handful of delays, though. So check with your carrier if you're concerned. But good conditions through Metro Denver. We still have yet to rack up our first crash across the interstates. The only one we have on the board, we've got reports that somebody tried to take out the sign at the I just lost the name of it. The fondue. The melting pot down along Santa Fe. There, the fondue joint down along Santa Fe.
Oh, man, now I'm hungry for the fondue.
Doesn't that sound
good stuff. Hope everybody's okay down there.
This is Colorado.
Bye, Ken.
Bye, Ken. Happening today, crews are going to continue searching for a man who's believed to have sadly drowned there at Cherry Creek Reservoir. We talked about this yesterday. He was only 29. He was tubing behind a boat, and he hadn't been seen since. He was not wearing a life jacket. Officials say windy conditions made it tough to search, but again, that reservoir is going to be closed as those operations continue.
All right, 6:03, the man suspected in a triple shooting in Denver expected to be in court later on today.
He's going to face charges of killing 2 adults and a 4-year-old little boy, all inside an apartment in Green Valley Ranch. Jim Hooley, you were on this when we were looking for the killer, and now it looks like he'll be brought to justice.
Yeah, Chris, and as you can imagine, people in Green Valley Ranch in that neighborhood out there breathing a lot easier now that there has been arrest, especially after this killing that included a 4-year-old little boy. The man under arrest now, Elijah Hood. He's 24-year-old, expected to be coming up here in court later on today. But here's what's happening out here right now. And take a look at the picture that we have from Denver police. Police say that they were able to track down Hood after several tips came into the Metro Denver Crime Stoppers over the past couple of days, and that reward money for information was increased to $10,000. Hood, by the way, out on the street, goes by the nickname EJ, police say. The shooting happened just before 6 p.m. That was on April 26th inside an apartment on North Dunkirk Street. That's in Denver's Green Valley Ranch. And 2 adults, a man and a woman, were killed, including that 4-year-old. Now, why did Hood possibly do it? Why did he pull the trigger? Well, police say Hood is the nephew of the woman who was killed, Denise Hood, and a friend of the man, Donnie Allen. Police believe that the 2 men could have had some kind of falling out and been in the middle of some kind of fight. when the shooting happened. That's all they have on that right now. No real hard possible motive. Police still working on that. Hood right now facing 3 counts of first-degree murder, and again, he's due here in court, possibly later on today. Live in downtown at the detention center, I'm Jim Holy.
All right, Jim, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Away taxpayer money, giving contractors money to provide services to homeless people and not housing the homeless population. This is absolute insanity.
Well, some crazy moments at last night's city council meeting as activists basically shut down government business protesting what they say is an unjust ban on tents. That ban was approved around a decade ago. Crews have been cleaning up camps ever since. Several of the folks who spoke out, they want to defund our shelters and instead provide housing for those who are currently in tent cities. They say the agencies that are supposed to be helping, they claim, aren't, and they want more affordable housing instead. Now, the council allowed them to speak beyond their allotted time. They got that special dispensation. They refused to give up the podium, and that actually forced the council to call for a recess so that the actual business of the city could take place.
Ooh, that was a long night. New developments this morning. Cherry Creek District parents putting their leaders in the spotlight after we looked into a sexual assault investigation. Several families say the district isn't holding students accountable when they're accused of attacking a classmate, even if charges are filed. Many say the accused student is simply told not to have contact with the victim instead of being transferred to a different school. They also want more communication about assault allegations once those are reported.
We need communication and we need accountability from this board, from our leadership, and from kids, because we're doing all of our kids a disservice when we're not keeping them all safe.
The district sent us this statement. It reads in part, quote, anytime an allegation is brought forward, we investigate, work with the families of all students involved to seek a solution where the student bringing the concern feels safe and supported at school. In a follow-up statement, they said we will not violate the privacy of students and potentially re-traumatize victims by sending communications to an entire school community when we learn about a student who reports being a victim of an assault.
It is 6:07. More fallout from that Supreme Court leak. Fort Collins police say a Catholic church was vandalized, windows broken, abortion rights language spray painted on the St. John the 23rd of Saturday. Even though some of the damage has been cleaned up, people who attend the church say they are disappointed about what happened.
You wake up Saturday morning, friends on Facebook have got a picture of red paint on the doors of your church. It's still nasty and gross to see vandalism like this, though.
In a statement, a spokesperson for the Archdiocese says, I think it's safe to say St. John the 23rd was targeted because of the church's stance on the dignity of life. No arrests have been made yet. If you know who might have done it or have information, Fort Collins police would like you to give them a call. Well, this morning in D.C., the Senate's approved a bill that could help protect our Supreme Court justices and their families. Over the weekend, as you know, crowds gathered at some of the justices' homes to protest that draft opinion that was leaked. It revealed the court will likely overturn Roe v. Wade, a decision that guarantees a woman's right to abortion. The protection bill now moves to the House for a vote.
Across America, the corrections officer that helped an attempted murder suspect escape jail, now dead after a chase ended in Indiana. Officials believe that Vicky White died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The inmate known as Casey White was arrested after this chase. They've been on the run almost 2 weeks after Vicky walked the suspect out of a jail in Lauderdale County. As to how they were caught, a car wash owner in Evansville told U.S. Marshals that he saw them at his business. In an exclusive interview with News Nation, he shared this video, talked about what he told authorities.
The U.S. Marshals said not to show what they're driving because I've got her picking him up on surveillance on my cameras. And I told him, I called him back. I said, I got her. She's still with him. She's picked him up. And he said, we think they're still in the Evansville area. Obviously they are.
You got to kind of wonder, why were they at a car wash? Inmate awaiting extradition back to Alabama. Meantime, Vicky's colleagues say they are just shocked. She was actually voted Corrections Employee of the Year. That award ceremony was next week.
Avs have it. McCarr back out there. Centering feed, a shot to score. A beautiful assist from
that goal
McCarr.
shot, Ken. We are so pumped here. You know, there's always a reason for joy every morning. Here is your morning dose of joy. Burgundy and blue waking up again, sweeping it. Another victory last night, securing it over the Nashville Predators. Score was close the entire match till Nate McKinnon scored that one at the end of the secure 5-3 victory. It is their 4th series sweep in franchise history. Now they're headed to the Western Conference semifinals.
Make sure your team's fighting hard and, you know, pushing themselves to overcome whatever obstacles are in their way. We had a few in this series, and this one was probably the toughest one. And now we can take a breath, get a couple days off for our guys, give them some rest, and we'll still get some real good practice time before we get ready for our next opponent.
Yep, the Avs are going to have a couple days off before they return to the ice. They await the winner of the St. Louis-Minnesota series, which is tied. That game will take place tonight. Katie and I have decided we're going to take hockey lessons. In solidarity with the Avs, we're going to learn how to play hockey.
Well, you think they're going to put us in?
You never know. They might call us up, little reserve players.
Yeah, no.
Yes, we are.
I'm down to take the lessons, but I don't know what good that's going to do for us. Speaking of sports, we're getting a closer look at another one of the Broncos matchups next season. The team announced within the hour they'll play the defending Super Bowl champs, LA Rams, on Christmas Day in LA, scheduled for 2:30 at SoFi Stadium.
Sing it with me. I'm dreaming
of an LA
Christmas. Hey, that'd be a good assignment, too.
Yeah, it would.
So let's go when the Broncos play in London and when they play in LA.
No, that's on Christmas. I want to be with my family.
Oh, fine.
London,
fine.
yes.
Time right now is 6:11. Thank you for waking up. Grab some coffee, get the kids ready for school. Coming up next, you're going to want to see this because it could be your house. A scary crime in a local neighborhood, the whole thing caught on camera.
Plus, thieves stealing thousands of dollars worth of the items from the garage. We'll tell you what went wrong. Plus, also new this morning, more information from the Marshall Fires. Firefighters relive the scary experience. What they have to say about their life-saving efforts.
The Pinpoint Weather hour-by-hour forecast on Channel 2 is brought to you by ColoradoFlatFeeRealty.com. Pay less, keep more, save thousands.
Colorado, after daybreak. Stay tuned for Great Day Colorado, a brand new lifestyle show featuring your favorite things. Great food, great fashion, great fun, and all things Colorado. Plus, where you can find the best deals in your town. Get ready for a Great Day Colorado, coming up after daybreak.
Here we are, 6:14 on your Tuesday, and thank you for choosing Colorado's very own. That means the world to us. We don't take it for granted. Nice morning at the airport, but boy, I'll tell you what, you got family flying in. You tell them it's going to be hot.
I wish I had family flying in.
Oh, I know.
What about you?
No. It's too hot out here. They're going to stay in Indiana.
Oh, okay. All right, time is 6:15. All caught on camera. Thieves stole thousands of dollars worth of stuff from this garage in Centennial. You can watch it all happen. The kids and the babysitter were inside. Owners now hoping you can help catch the culprits. Brandon Wilson says this happened while he and his wife were out of town. His kids, the babysitter, forgot to close the garage before they went to sleep. So this camera that's mounted on their house captured the thieves driving by several times, scoping out the property, then making a move. You see them taking out bikes, several bags of things. Wilson says this could have ended so much worse.
It's definitely an unfortunate situation, and I just urge everyone to take that extra step every night to make sure their garages are closed, doors are locked. If you see a neighbor's garage or door open, just shoot them a text or go knock on their door.
Well, none of those thieves have been arrested yet, so if you recognize any of them, call police.
You know, the same exact thing happened to me. I left my garage door once, it bounced back open. By the next morning, my bikes were gone. We'll take a look at this. New developments from the Marshall Fire. Boulder County congratulating the first family to receive a build permit. And this morning, we're getting another look at some of the body cam footage that firefighters captured when the blaze first broke out. So this footage comes from an Arvada firefighter who responded. His unit received an award for their actions that ended up saving lives and property. They also talked about their experience on that fateful day back in December.
And when you crested that hill and you saw that smoke, you realized that this was completely different than anything different that you've ever been involved in.
And I saw power lines above, and so that's where I said that's where we're going to make our stand. Soon after, it was about 20 minutes, we lost 2 blocks between us and the fire. And so I was thinking 10 minutes per block of houses we were losing because it was just eating. And it became untenable where we were, enough to where I was on Red Northwest, and I told the guys that we need to cut and run. It was time to abandon all lines, leave equipment in place.
I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of footage from that fire, but boy, that's something else. It's just something else. So that fire, as you know, destroyed 1,000 homes, damaged several others, and they are heroes. They deserve the honor for what they did that day in December.
All right, fire weather continues.
Sure
no
does.
rain, windy out there, hot.
Yeah, I just don't have a drop of rain for the next 7 days.
Not a drop.
That's a big problem because now the wind is going to be strong each afternoon, and that creates a real problem. Take a look at the wildfire risk all the way through Friday. So the orange balls are elevated, and then one above that. The worst days are going to be Wednesday and Thursday with red here, critical fire weather conditions. That means the winds are going to be stronger, temperatures will be hotter, especially Wednesday, and the relative humidity in the air could be at 15% or less on those days. All right, looking at the futurecast gusts this afternoon, anywhere from 15 to 35, 50 to 60 mile-an-hour winds up in the mountains. Same thing we're dealing with here on Wednesday afternoon, 15 to 35, and then on Thursday, potentially the strongest winds of the week here, 25 to maybe 40 or even 50 miles per hour. Up in the mountains, very strong winds as well. So Wednesday and Thursday are going to be days that are going to be very tricky around here. So precip chances are 0. I don't have anything all the way through next Monday. On the futurecast today, clear and sunny early, some afternoon high clouds. Tomorrow, sunny, dry early, some afternoon clouds. You get the picture. Thursday, a couple of rain or snow showers could brush the extreme northern mountains of our state in the afternoon. Friday's dry early and then some clouds in the afternoon. Saturday, here's Saturday morning, some high clouds, a little wave cloudiness, and then in the afternoon, just a more general high cloud spreading in, but it should be dry. All right, 7-day forecast. So 79 today, almost 90 here tomorrow, and that's the record high for tomorrow. Thursday, the windiest day of the week. Friday, 77. Winds start to back away just a little bit on Saturday. Sunday looks like it's going to be much calmer, sunny skies, and Ken in the 70s.
All right, well, it's good the wind is leaving, but we could use some rain, Chris. Sky 2 up to the north, right over I-25, down the hill from Northglenn and Thornton and into the city. Just a few delays across 25 this morning. So that route in excellent shape if you're in that vicinity. Now, if you are further up to the north across I-76, I-25, this is right around Johnson's Corner with that construction project. And here's Highway 93 between Golden and Boulder. All of these routes are quiet. Sky 2 is right in this area, so you can see those slight delays. Same deal with 270 and I-76. Coming up, guys, we'll show you trip times along those routes that are dealing with those delays.
All right, Ken, always good to see you. Now, new this morning, Colorado veterans, their main mode of transportation stolen right in broad daylight. An e-bike that gave 75-year-old Lyle Menard the freedom to buzz around town was taken from the Walmart off Wadsworth.
Oh, we hear about these kinds of things happening all the time, but the problem may be solved now. More on that in just a minute. He's concerned, though, about an issue that came up when he tried to report this crime. When he tried to file with Lakewood Police, he was told to do it online. Well, he isn't computer savvy, so he contacted his daughter for help. Both of them say there should be better options here for seniors who need to report a crime.
My only means of getting around town, because I can walk, like I walk from here to back to the center, but it's a painful walk.
So Lakewood Police say that they're investigating this case, trying to find who did it, but they told us people can file a report over the phone. It's not always available. They say the easiest way is online. Yeah, that does seem difficult. And what if you don't have access to a computer? So meantime, several viewers have offered to buy him the same exact e-bike. We've reached out to his daughter about those offers. We will make sure to keep you updated as that happens.
I'm getting so tired of thieves stealing bikes and we don't do anything about it. And a veteran like that suffers. So I hope he does get that new bike.
But it shows how awesome our viewers are to call in, and
we love you.
Generous.
You always rise up every time we ask.
That's right. Just
6:21, and it's going to be a good Tuesday.
All right, so if you have a newborn, listen up this morning. We're talking about the shortage of the infant formula. We'll tell you where you can find some.
And in your business headlines, the parent company of Tinder is now suing Google because they want to stay on your phone, but maybe it's not going to happen. Oh, Lord, here it comes.
Developing Jumping into your health this morning, a nationwide shortage of baby formula has a lot of families concerned. So it's supply chain issues, some national recalls. Several stores are selling out. This is what a lot of shelves look like right now. Some retailers now limiting the amount that you can buy. We spoke to one mom who says her family has not had any problems.
We're able to find some at Costco. Last week, my husband was able to find it. Though they're limiting the Kirkland brand, I think, to just 2 cases a customer when you go in. Shelves in here are pretty bare. We haven't had a hard time finding what we need yet, but it could happen at any point in time.
So doctors tell us it is okay to switch brands, but do it gradually. Don't start using cow milk before your doctor says it's okay, and don't dilute the formula to try to make your own.
It is 6:25 this morning. Let's talk about some business headlines for you. The parent company of Tinder is now suing Google. They want to keep the popular dating app on the Play Store. It comes after Google asked Tinder to share 30% of the sales they make. Tinder joins several other companies that are suing the tech giant over what they say are anti-competitive practices. I thought, don't people use Bumble now? Or Hinge? Hinge is the big one now. I prefer the Sunday ice cream social. Meantime, Tesla, they're suing a former employee for allegedly revealing company secrets. Company says the employee downloaded info about a supercomputer project onto their personal device and won't give it back. Tesla says the employee admits to stealing the information and violating a non-disclosure agreement by removing the plans from the workplace. And finally, people are still going to the movies. I told you this. Doctor Strange, record-breaking box office. So AMC reporting sales more than 5 times higher than this time last year. So the chief executive saying the results were the company's strongest in 2 years. That's good news. So moving ahead to the rest of this summer, you've got Top Gun. Oh, yeah. You've got, of course, the Buzz Lightyear film. You've got Jurassic Park. Folks, it's going to be a blockbuster summer, and I am thrilled that the movies are back.
I think it's been a year since I've been, but I am definitely going to see Top Gun 2 in theaters.
I'm seeing it tonight.
I know, I can't wait.
That's a negative, Ghost Rider. We'll review Top Gun here on the program in the days ahead. Time right now is 6:26. Just ahead, we're going to keep it live and local here on Colorado's very own.
Yeah, remember those horses in Canyon City we told you about? Well, now the number has gone up, 138 dead. We'll talk to protesters about their claims about the horse deaths.
Denver City Councilman got heated last night as advocates for the homeless refused to give up the podium. I've got the details after the break.
The meteorologist Chris Stomer, so we're in elevated wildfire risk, but it actually increases to critical starting tomorrow. That forecast is coming up.
This is Colorado's very own Daybreak on 2 at 6:30.
Denver City Council meeting here last night. I've got what happened coming up.
And at 6:30, protest over those horse deaths at Canyon City. Activists believe the equine flu outbreak is to blame. Just ahead, the Bureau of Land Management responds to some new accusations. And the Scorpions coming to Denver. We got the Colorado exclusive talking to the boys in the band. The date has just been announced. You be sure Ken Clark and I'll be right there in the front row.
That does not look
shaking the gate. Shaking the gate, baby. Cannot wait to share that Scorpions interview. These guys are awesome.
I watched that interview happen, and you guys are singing the main song with them.
The whole newsroom heard us.
Yeah, we got in trouble.
We got in trouble.
Well, I got in trouble because
we were singing too loudly.
Rocking like a hurricane.
We were rocking like a hurricane.
We brought in the cage, and everybody was like, what's going on?
It was like 9:30. It was too early.
It was too early. Either way, we'll talk to the Scorpions in a little bit. Meantime, we're not going to have any rocking like a hurricane next couple days. No moisture at all.
No, unfortunately not. And the winds are going to continue to blow each afternoon. There's your sunny morning view on the Backus and Schenker camera. Totally dry here today. We've got our assortment, our usual assortment now of fire weather watches and warnings out. This is going to run us all the way through the end of the week. This pattern right here with this dip in the jet, but it's running over the top of Colorado, keeping us windy and dry. The storm track just too far to the north to benefit us here with precip. Hourly planner today about where we were yesterday in the mid to upper 70s for Denver, Boulder, Loveland, and Fort Collins. Coming up, I'll take a look at the wind gust forecast for each afternoon, and we'll take a look at the weekend as well, Ken, in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris. Well, we do have a traffic alert if you're up north across 25 near Johnson's Corner. Traffic crawling. They're dealing with a left lane crash kind of in the middle of that construction zone, so the delays continue to fill in. This is the first problem that you're dealing with this morning. And again, if you're coming in from Fort Collins and Loveland down along 25, expect those delays. South of there, boy, everything breaks loose. It is wide open through the city. Sky 2's been out. We have had a pretty decent rush, so we're kind of tracking things as they start to unfold. They're up to the north across portions of 25. And you can see that drive into town still remains slow. We'll take a look at the other problems. We'll drill down on those trip times as well here, guys, coming up.
All right, thank you, Ken. Denver City Council meeting got very heated last night. They were talking about the homeless, and basically advocates at the podium went overtime talking about how they want the funding to go to housing for the homeless.
And they wouldn't stop, and thus the city's business ground to a halt. So Carly Cassidy's talking about it this morning. Carly, their claim is they believe that the homeless sweeps are inhumane and should stop, but they ended up stopping city business. Is that what happened?
Yeah, roughly 24 people here last night. They were calling for council to end that camping ban and to really provide housing and also help for more people living on the street. And they also referenced things like lack of public restroom and drinking fountains. They also asked the city to spend money differently to help people experiencing homelessness. The public comment session was supposed to last only 30 minutes, but after that, it got a little rowdy. The group refused to give up the podium, causing a recess and an hour delay before the regular meeting usually starts. And you can hear that here.
I would ask that you be quiet in the chambers for right now because this is a legally required meeting. This is concluding the general public comment.
You've been making this problem worse for 10 years. 10 years.
I understand that you are all very, very patient.
Stop subsidizing the homeless industrial complex and start building housing. Build and administer public housing. The report from the Common Sense Institute and CU Denver revealed that Denver is spending double the cost of housing its entire homeless population.
Sir, I am happy to hear from one individual.
Now you can also see the shirts that they are wearing say Denver's Decade of Doom, which references and comes on the 10-year anniversary of the controversial camping ban. District 9 Councilwoman Candy C. DeBaca did stay in the room during the recess and was actually the only one, while the group held an informal discussion about how to undo the camping ban. Now 2 years ago in 2019, advocates tried to repeal this camping ban, unsuccessful then, and their advocates do have more protests planned this week, including one here Saturday morning at the City and County building. We also have reached out to longtime advocate Brian Loma. He actually live streamed and recorded that meeting there. We have not heard back from him just yet. Live in Denver, I'm Carly Cassidy, Daybreak on 2.
You may not be able to answer this, I'm not sure, but I'm curious, if we have space in our shelters, which we do, why would we prefer to have tents on the street? Are these folks arguing that it should go straight to apartments and houses? They want us to defund the shelters.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, it gets complicated, doesn't it? Well, either way, the city business, they're an hour and a half delayed. Appreciate that update.
Yeah, they do have shelters, so that, kind of solves that problem. 6:35 new this morning, aunt of a woman who was killed in a suspected DUI crash in Thornton, speaking out as her family grieves. This happened Sunday night near 84th and Washington. So the woman who was killed has been identified as this woman. She's just 30 years old, Erin Amsdale. 4 others in her car were also hurt, including her 3 kids. All of the victims are within the same family.
And I think what we're going to really miss the most about Erin is her positive light and her energy, because he took a beautiful life from a beautiful family.
Oh, my goodness. So police arrested the driver of the truck that caused that crash. She's now facing DUI charges.
Time right now is 6:36. New information about that deadly shooting at a rental car lot. It happened on Friday near 3rd and Broadway. Victims have been identified as Pat and Shannon Hoon of Ohio. Pat was killed, his wife currently in critical condition. Their friends are now looking for answers.
How can something like this happen? How can another human being do this to someone?
So Jerron Harris taken in custody after the shooting. He was arrested on first-degree murder charges. Police don't believe he knew the couple. The DA will make the decision on those charges. We're told it could happen maybe in the next couple days.
Meantime, this man, 22-year-old Vicente Orozco, has been sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms for killing 2 men back in 2019. This was at Belmar Park. He stabbed a 19-year-old while he was playing soccer. The body of his second victim, a 61-year-old, was found by someone walking through the park. This was near the Fallen Fallen Firefighters Memorial. He was stabbed, then robbed. An anonymous tip led police to Orozco, who was arrested 6 days later.
Time right now is 6:37. Fort Collins High School briefly locked down yesterday while police investigate a suspicious situation. They were called to the school because students noticed a bag in the road. Bag had empty gun magazines, and police are now working to try and figure out how it got there.
A deadly equine influenza outbreak at a Canyon City holding facility has now claimed the lives of 138 wild horses in just 2 weeks. Local activists are now outraged about this. Dozens of them protested here in front of the BLM office in Lakewood. That's the federal agency that runs this facility. They believe there's something else happening, but BLM disagrees.
They were supposed to be protected from harassment and death, and that's exactly what the Bureau of Land Management is doing. They're harassing them and killing them.
We don't mistreat horses at all. We do our best in the gathers that we have to do and in the management of them both on the range and off range.
Well, Bittner also said they're listening to concerns. They'll review operations at the facility to prevent this from happening again.
A second wolf dog, which is a hybrid breed, is found dead at a Douglas County rescue organization. Back in March, we got the exclusive video of the sheriff's deputies there in Mattersville Sanctuary where the dog was shot. They arrested a person who lives nearby. Another dog collapsed, and they think it was poisoned. So the case is under investigation, and now Army veteran David Childress going to ride across the country to try and raise awareness of the need for a sanctuary. As I've been telling you all morning, David Childress says his 6-month-old wolf pup has been the key to him coping with post-traumatic stress. So Childress will take Corvanna from Fort Myers to Canyon Beach, Oregon, stopping along the way to care for her and raise awareness. Corvanna will travel in a trailer that will be good for her, and she'll be properly taken care of.
I've been down so many different roads looking for that healing that I found here. And it was only through something that couldn't talk to me that I could talk to. That non-judgmental open ear that I've been able to get from them, that means more than talking to any psychiatrist, anybody else.
Corvanna will end his actual journey there on September 11th to commemorate those lost in the World Trade Center tragedy.
In other headlines across America, jury selection for the Parkland school shooter delayed yet again. The lead defense attorney in the case is out sick, so another juror had to be excused, saying that serving on the case would be a financial hardship. This jury will decide if the shooter will get the death penalty or life in prison. Last October, he pleaded guilty to killing 17 people in that attack. His trial expected to start in June. It could last several months.
Turning to the Russian invasion, Moscow celebrating what they call Victory Day with, of course, that's supposed to mark the victory in World War II over Nazi Germany. But all eyes are really on what Putin might have said regarding Ukraine. He did use his speech to justify the invasion, falsely claiming it was a, quote, forced response to Western military support. He also continued to accuse Ukraine's government of being neo-Nazi, despite having zero evidence to that effect. So here's President Zelensky pushing back.
Russia has forgotten everything that was important to the winners of World War II, but Ukraine and the whole free world will remind them.
Back here in the States, the House will consider an additional $40 billion in supplemental funding for Ukraine today. The president said he wants the measure to be on his desk in the next couple days, warning for the first time that their existing aid might run out in 10 days. He's requested $33 billion. Congress has proposed billions more for food and military equipment.
Now to your COVID headlines, new case numbers increasing across the country. Public health leaders say we could see another surge. According to the CDC, the 7-day average for new infections doubled over the last 5 weeks to about 71,000. The White House now warns we could see 100 million cases in the fall. This forecast assumes Omicron and subvariants will now continue to dominate new infections during the pandemic.
If we don't get ahead of this thing, we're going to have a lot of waning immunity. This virus continues to evolve, and we may see a pretty sizable wave of infections, hospitalizations, and deaths this fall and winter.
So the White House has asked Congress to now approve $22 billion in COVID relief funds.
The House committee investigating January 6th insurrection is winding down, but investigators still have a big decision to make. Will they call former President Trump or Vice President Pence to testify? Sources telling the AP that the 9-member panel is debating whether or not to speak with them. Some have already saying they've obtained the information they need without Trump or Pence. Others say they want to be as thorough as possible. So far, they have spoken with 1,000 witnesses and received 100,000 pages of documents. Hearings about their findings are now planned for next month. And looking ahead, President Biden is going to deliver remarks today on his plan to fight inflation and lower costs for working families. That address is scheduled for 9:30. We don't have any other details, but we'll bring it to you when it does happen.
All right, it's Tuesday morning. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Good.
I'll feel a lot better after a 5th cup of coffee.
Yeah, earlier this morning, he dropped the entire thermos.
I did. Clean up on aisle 4.
All right, just ahead this morning, gas prices rising across the country, plus here in Colorado, breaking records that you can expect to pay at the pump.
Maybe I'll ride my bike.
Probably.
And a debris removal debacle from Marshall Fire Zone. A warning after one family has their stuff taken by surprise.
Also this morning, call it a Mother's Day surprise from the Broncos' new QB. The gift he had for Sierra over the weekend. Can you guess what it is?
I know what it is. So cute.
The hottest issues that affect your family and your wallet. Don't miss Colorado Point of View. Sunday mornings at 7:30 on Colorado's very own Channel 2.
It is 6:45 on your Tuesday morning. Here's a live look at DIA from our fine airport parking cam.
Hey,
you can see a plane.
Your mom's coming. Mom's coming to visit.
My mama.
I do too. Hopefully, if you got friends or family coming, you're blessed for sure. Consumer alert this morning, gas prices going up around the country and here in Colorado. And in fact, we just broke a record. AAA saying statewide we're sitting at $4.10, just a penny over the record from 2008 when it was $4.09. National average is now $4.37. That's up 14 cents over the last 2 weeks.
All right, 6:46. A family that fell victim to the Marshall Fire. They're frustrated after a debris removal project.
So they tell us some of their property was actually taken without them getting noticed first. So people who own homes in the fire-damaged area are supposed to be notified when crews are going to remove debris. Drapers tell us they showed up to try and continue sorting through their things, and it was all gone. Somebody scraped the whole property. They thought they had until June to do their own sifting.
Yeah, pulled the scab off the wound. You know, we feel like we're just beginning to heal, and it was just more shock, more loss, more grief that we didn't need. We were prepared to see the lot, of course, cleared, but to walk up and think there's still going to be a few things left of your life, and then there was no alert, it was just very sad.
So they immediately began calling their friends to let them know the work has started. Boulder County told us families should be notified before their property is scraped.
Well, for the first time in almost 6 decades, England's longest-serving monarch is skipping the stated opening session there in Parliament. We showed it to you live earlier as it happened. In fact, Prince Charles read the speech for Queen Elizabeth. She is not able to attend Parliament's opening because she has mobility issues. It's just the 3rd time during her reign she hasn't been there to open Parliament. 96-year-old's been slowing down and has canceled a number of appearances in the summer garden party season.
Well, happening today, Denver continues to test its outdoor warning sirens and the reverse emergency notification alerts, also known as RAN alerts. You're encouraged to sign up. So they're used by Denver 911 to inform the public via voice call, text message, email that you may be impacted by safety. So to sign up, go to denvergov.org/emergency testing. Here are the neighborhoods that will get the alert today: Sun Valley, West Colfax, Sloan's Lake, Jefferson Park, Gateway Valley Ranch, then Barnum West. The tests will also continue in different neighborhoods through May 21st, and tomorrow at 11, outdoor warning sirens will sound for 3 minutes around Denver and the airport.
You have been warned, ladies and gentlemen. All right, 6:48. You know, a while ago, it's so funny. I was griping, oh, it's raining. I can't put my weed killer down. Now I'd give anything for some rain.
It just isn't a drop.
Not a drop.
I don't have anything for the next 7 days, guys. And take a look at the rest of the week as far as the wildfire risk. Are elevated today, and then it goes up to the next level, critical, on Wednesday and Thursday, and then back down to elevated on Friday. These days, though, feature stronger winds, hotter temperatures, especially on Wednesday, and the relative humidity may be at 15% or less, which is very dry and meeting specific criteria for both days. So the issue now is we've had so many red flag warnings. We have 22 so far this year. That puts us in the top 2 when you look back at the number of red flag warnings issued by this time of the year. Only 2018 has had more. We're easily going to surpass that. That means we've had more red flag warnings than any other year so far to date, by the time we get into probably Wednesday and Thursday, that's just how active it's been with these conditions met, dry, hot, and windy conditions. And this afternoon is no different with 15 to 35 mile-an-hour winds. Tomorrow, it's more of the same. So each day, we're hitting the criteria necessary for these red flag conditions. And then on Thursday, it's even windier, 25 to 40, maybe even 50 mile-an-hour winds. And up in the mountains, another windy day as well. So our precip is dry. We just don't have anything to tamp down these conditions all the way through basically Monday of next week. Our futurecast, a lot of sun, some high clouds this afternoon. On Wednesday, it's the same. Thursday, dry in the morning, maybe an afternoon rain or snow shower. Northern mountains, it's a minimal shot. And then on Friday, sunny early afternoon clouds. Saturday starts out dry with a wave cloud. And then in the afternoon, more high clouds come spilling in. So 7-day forecast. So 79 today and just about 90 tomorrow. The record tomorrow is 90. Quite windy on Thursday. Friday's in the 70s. Saturday, winds start to back down. By Sunday, it's calmer with a high of 76. Dry all weekend, Ken.
Oh, you know, in preparation for the wind, I'm going to put the lawn clippings on top of the garbage can to try and keep the lid down and all the trash in.
Good idea.
We're going to need to prepare for that. South along 25, that's the reason for the traffic alert. Crews dealing with a crash in between Fort Collins, Loveland, and Metro Denver. So the Southern Drive, still a bit of a crawl around Johnson's Corner as they deal with this left lane crash right in the middle of that construction zone. So we'll show you trip times along that route, and they are long. As far as Metro Denver is concerned, we've got delays east along 70 and problems along 76 and 270 there, but quiet on the south side of the city. But Sky 2 is out along the west side of town. They're over C470 up against the foothills. Not much happening through that area, but a lot of construction. Boy, they are building houses crazy on the south side of the city, and that's going to change the metro landscape for sure. South along 25, if you live in Fort Collins, 83 minutes with the average speed 29 miles an hour. That's essentially all due to that accident, guys, working in that left lane.
Yeah, some delays. All right, developing now. Popular New York Times game Wordle getting extra attention today. So the word for yesterday was supposed to be fetus. But in light of the controversial Supreme Court leak, the New York Times changed it to a more benign word, saying they want to remain distinct from the news. They say these words were loaded last year before the Times even bought it from the software engineer. So you said the word yesterday was shine.
Shine. By the time I got to it, it was shine.
All right.
Took me 5 guesses, but I got there. You know, Ken Clark and I were 80s kids. That meant Trapper Keeper in hand and Scorpions on the Walkman. You talk about radical. The band is still together, coming to Denver, and about to rock our childhood like a hurricane. Oh yeah, that's Ken and me back in the day. And while you can take a kid out of the 80s, you can't ever take the 80s out of these kids. Rock you like a hurricane! It's still love at first sting with the Scorpions. Our inner kids are freaking out.
That high note in the guitar solo of Rock Me Like a Hurricane was so incredibly loud
A chance to talk to the classic band that's been around for over 50 years.
Rock and roll, yes, but also it's peace, love, and rock and roll. You know, it's our lyrics. Always we support peace, and we're building bridges with music, bringing people together.
19 studio albums, millions of fans, rock anthems, and somehow the fellows have stayed together. So what's their secret?
Understand each other and try to make out of 5 guys and respect each other and understand each other and make together something very special for the people, for yourself, and for the world.
Of course, they'll be rocking us when they come to the Mile High. Scorpions just announcing their North American tour this summer with a stop at Ball Arena.
And I can't wait to come to Colorado because of all the fresh air, you know.
There you go.
It's for my vocal, for my little instrument here down my throat. It feels great to get the Colorado fresh air.
If these fellows have anything to worry about, it's actually the Channel 2 super fans. I mean, we are a handful.
Look who it is!
My husband loves you too. We're gonna go home and play it.
So here they are. The deal is they'll play Ball Arena September 29th. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. You can get them on Ticketmaster. I believe Ken Clark is already. Are you in line there, Ken, trying to get your tickets? What are you doing, buddy?
29th September. Oh, the show's on a Thursday.
Come on!
That means I'll be sick on Friday.
You sure will be.
Oh, my goodness. That is great.
He ain't lying, by the way. All right, we're going to have fun with them when they come to town. A whole summer of concerts, really. Good time to be here.
My favorite part was when y'all were on Zoom and y'all sang that song to them. Rock Me Like
The whole newsroom heard us, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, looking ahead this morning, Broncos fans will learn the team's schedule this week. We already know who the opponents will be, but the actual dates and times set to be released on Thursday. We also told you we're going across the pond to play in London October 30th, taking on the Jags. Well, get this. That's not the only buzz going around Broncos country. New quarterback Russell Wilson nailed his Mother's Day gift to Sierra. Look at this.
And a puppy. If you give him one chance, her name is Bronco.
Her name is Bronco. That's
Aww.
right. New puppy. Isn't she precious? What did we say the kids call her? Bronco Brownie Love?
Bronco Brownie Love. Oh, man. That means they're going to be here a while. You get a dog, you're putting down roots.
That's true.
Good boy.
Let's take a look at what else is trending this morning. Are you trying to choose a baby name? There's actually a Starbucks trick.
Do you think I'm having a baby? Maybe one day. So I'll use the Starbucks trick, right? If you're worried your name's going to be weird, use the name, test it out next time you're at Starbucks.
Oh, I see.
So you tell them your name is, Cletus. And see the reaction when they say Cletus.
We'll see if they can spell it, too, on the cup.
And see if they can spell it.
Yeah, so the person who posted the tip said they tried it, and they were thrilled when every single time the spelling and pronunciation was the name they wanted. It was Xanthi.
I don't know.
Oh, I just failed. I failed their Starbucks.
You failed the test.
Yeah,
Good morning to Xanthi and everybody else waking up with us. We're going to roll on next, live and local at 7 o'clock. Xanthi.
We'll keep it live and local at 7 with new details about crime rising in the Denver metro. See what neighborhoods actually getting safer while others are getting more dangerous.
At 7:30, renting versus buying, the age-old question. Which one is actually cheaper right here in Denver?
Plus, one of the richest men in the country touring the Broncos facility yesterday. Brand new at 7 o'clock. New reports saying the next owner will have to pay even more than expected. And only on 2, we're getting an exclusive tour of Colorado's newest sportsman club, while you're allowed to get a drink at this range.